Dang.
Oh man, the best part is I can't even talk about it. Not the best part.
Damn.
I was
Bleep that out, Derek. Bleep it out.
So I do watch. I like to watch YouTube videos with my kids sometimes, and we read stories and we go to bed. But I do like to watch when bands fight with my kids because I think it's really funny because they're like, "Oh, Dad, you were in bands." I'm like, "Yeah, let's watch some videos of what being in bands like."
It's great. It's wonderful.
But it's just really funny when that one I think it's in Eastern Europe where the guitar player just is terrible. He's doing the solo, and then multiple people in the band just come over there and punch him, and just sort of shake him and then they walk off stage. And so we were just getting why, how do you keep your band together?
Ugh.
And there's so many bands because we've all been in bands. We've all been in bands that have broken up. It's kind of like we've been in relationships, right?
It is kind of like that.
It's like being married without the physical part of it, which is like being married.
Basically, they're exactly the same.
It's gonna have a dramatic pause. I want to have a moment of silence for all of you, any of the fellas or ladies out there that watch this that know the pain that I was speaking of. There's a hotline 976-HELP. You can call us and we'll talk about your.
It's true.
It's don't call that number. I don't think it's real. But so we were just getting into ideas of why bands might break up, from your basic bar band that's just having a bunch of fun with the guys, and then all of a sudden to the biggest bands in the world like the Eagles and things like that. They're all just kind of like cock monsters. But that's one reason right there.
There you go.
But just night mosquito. I don't know why I said that, but just when it's not even a band for the love at all. When you're just a financial vehicle to make money,
right?
That is a huge reason, I think.
You're basically a corporation. Your band.
You happen to play instruments and go to bars, and there happens to be pretty people, girls and guys around, and cool things. But that's a big one to me. If there's no love in it,
right?
Your band's probably not going to make it. So what do you think? Give me some ideas.
I think first thing that pops in my brain, bands should almost never be democracies. This might be questionable. I feel like bands do better when there's a clear leader.
I agree pretty much 100%. As long as that leader's not a dictator.
That's right. Well, and I'm not saying that, no one else has a say or they shouldn't be listened to.
I want
there's just got to be
type
right.
Of
there's just
I'm just here to, why don't you take off your shirt here now? No, but let's try this song. I'd like to play some Radiohead B-sides instead of doing stuff that people want to hear and be happy with. And you'll try it maybe, but no, you need a clear leader, I think, in some ways.
I think the best situations I've been in is there's an artist or a leader, and he would listen to our input, but at the end of the day, bam.
Yes, and there's so many times if you have let's say there's 4 cats in the band, people are shooting off each way, and then you can never really settle on what you're doing.
Right.
Even if it's a fun Giggles band, there has to just be even the Falcon Velvet one that I did, my hair metal thing with my buddies, I was sort of set up as the leader just to kind of make sure it's directed, because we had that was the most ego-driven band I've had. They had great people there, from James to Peter to Jason to Smokestack. Smokestack's the drummer's name because he was always high. But I don't even know his real name. I just call him Smoke. I do, but it's more fun to call him that. But no, it's it was it was a fun mission. Here's what we're doing. We're just doing 80s and early 90s hair metal. Nothing else can come out. Nope. What about this stuff that's kind of in the metal world? No, it has to be hair metal. It has to be fun. It has to be about girls, drugs, and good times.
Awesome.
That's it. It was a really, really bad version of Steel Panther. Really, really bad version of Steel Panther.
Cutting edge.
Cutting edge. Oh, that's one. Give me another one. I got one.
All right.
Don't sleep with anybody in your bands, spouses, partners, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever. That's a bad idea. And don't sleep with people in your band,
I was going to say, or the actual people in your band.
I just think it seems like a fun idea, but it usually ends poorly.
It's probably a decent idea at the time. It's one of those situations.
God, it seems great. We love each other. We work together all the time. I see this person every day. Oh, no.
But I've never seen it work out in the long term.
No, it's even for we'll talk about obviously if you're in a band with your buddy, don't sleep with his friend or his wife or her wife or her husband or whatever. That's bad. If you're in a band even ABBA and all that stuff and Fleetwood Mac, it just doesn't end well.
I mean, this probably even, this is just good life advice. If you got a buddy, don't sleep with his wife or partner or whatever.
That way, and like there's a throuple in the making.
There maybe are exceptions, but
the fact that I know what a throuple is disturbs me.
I have no idea what you're saying right now.
Exactly. Let's just continue it there. Oh my God, what was that? Oh, because when I was in the band in New York, the Blondes thing. We were trying out bass players. We were doing pretty well at this point. I think we had 30 to 40 bass player auditions. We had this one girl. Okay. She auditioned. I don't remember her real name, but her stage name was Kitty Litter, and she was really attractive. But she was really, really bad at bass.
Yeah.
And she offered to sleep with everybody in the band, like whenever, like if we let her in the band. Like so, I was like, this seems like a great player. And then Bill, the other lead of the band, was like, this is why we had like a co-leadership. It was very like he was like, this is a bad idea. I'm like, I will go with you on this one. I think you're making a mistake. I'm lonely, but okay. Oh, the life. The mistakes.
I cannot believe you guys made such a good decision. I'm sort of shocked by that.
It was not my. It was we made.
I do believe it was not your call or fault at all. But that's an incredibly wise decision for.
I don't have many regrets in life.
But that's one. Kitty Litter. There you go. If you're out there,
just like slaying hearts and cats around the world, Kitty Litter. Like hats off to you. I remember that, but I don't even know how. That was a long time ago. Jeez, that's like.
There you go.
Okay, what else we got?
You brought up an interesting point about your bass player. Don't suck.
That's good. A segue.
Don't suck.
No, because let's say it is just a bunch of buddies. Like say there's 4 cats, like and you're playing together, and one person just really sucks. It's like it's going to create this weird tension. Like we're going to have to let like Billy Bob go or something, or like or our band's just going to suck forever. And like
if that happens in your band, it can only go 2 ways. Either you're going to say to the person, "You, sir, suck," and then people are going to get mad.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to say to the person, "You suck," and you're going to cram that emotion down until it becomes this like boiling cauldron of rage and bitterness inside you.
I feel like that's how my wife feels about me.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like marriage. We told you. It's just like that. But so, I mean, horrible. That's why that's a problem.
Is that why we're such good married people? Because we've been in bands.
Yeah.
Like we're good. Like we understand.
We can shove it down.
We understand like just to take the hate.
Yeah.
Like because we're sort of like the bad member in the band, the husband.
Just absorb it. It's like, cool.
Oh, just go back to your she shed, Jonathan.
No big deal.
His
cool.
she shed's amazing. We're
See you later.
Spruce up for it soon. Oh, give me another one.
My shed. That's what we're gonna do.
You just cuss?
No.
You said shed. I thought you
yeah.
said something else. I'm sorry.
Only shed.
Okay, so this is another thing. Like this, I'm gonna just jump in with this one because it used to always drive me nuts when I meet bands like this in the New York scene or something like. But like, split the revenue evenly. I don't care if you're the singer, the drummer, the guitar player, the bass player. Like just everybody. Like you're playing a live show, split it 50-50 or 25-25, whatever the percentages are. Like, just it doesn't matter if you're the songwriter at this point. That's a whole different track.
If you get to the point where you're making royalties, that's whatever. But yeah, when you're playing live. Split it up.
And that's like a thing, like when you get to that point, like so many people like get put like the cart above the horse, like, let's start signing contracts with our band right now. We're getting ready to go play, the bar next door. Like, let's have contracts because these are my songs. I'm like, well, hold your horses, pony.
And that's probably another point is don't get ahead of yourselves because nothing breaks up a band worse than people, having these weird delusions of grandeur. Yeah, it's like, all right, cool. When we play Madison Square Garden next month, no, you're not.
Because I played with some pretty big acts, and there's no contracts. Like a lot of times, it's just like you have too, man. Like it's funny. It's like, like way better people than I should have played with, and it's
right.
Like, man, I can't believe I'm in the same room with this person. They are phenomenal. I sort of am okay.
Yeah.
And there's no contract.
I just did that.
I just did the show, and then I got paid money.
Right.
And it was cool, and it was fun. I got to say, like, I played with that person now.
Yep.
And it was a great and I learned.
That's it.
And they paid you money.
That's it.
That's the weirdest part.
Done.
If they don't pay you money, just shut up and like take it. Like just take it. If it's somebody like that's successful and you got gypped off, you got to play with them. Hopefully you learn something. Get a contract.
Just don't play.
Just disprove my whole point.
Man.
No, well, contracts are important. Like when you're doing like certain like sideman gigs, obviously, like when it's a certain level. But sometimes they're not. Like if the cat's cool and you're willing to take that risk, I certainly have been before, and it was fun as hell.
I don't know that I've ever really had anything but like a verbal contract, honestly. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's
maybe once.
Yeah, and that kind of goes along just being cool, but like being cool in a very specific way.
Yes.
When the show is over, help put the equipment away.
Oh, God, yes.
If you're the lead singer, you're not done when you put the microphone back on the mic stand. I'm going to pause for all you lead singers out there that think that's your job. And we're continuing. But no, I see that all the time. Lead singers out there talking. I'm talking to the fans. I'm like, you're talking to the drunk people at the bar. I just want to touch that one piece there. Is that attached? It's not. I found one. Oh my God. It's from your head.
It's probably from my head. Hopefully that's from my head.
That'd be amazing.
Thanks for keeping me groomed. Keep your band members groomed.
No, don't, because that leads to marriage.
Don't. That's true.
And dating, and I don't want to date.
No.
John thinks he's married. He's happily married. Yeah. And that throuple will not be. But no, like help just pack up the equipment.
Help the drummer. Help the drummer. Carry the drummer's things. He has more things than you.
And carry the amps are heavy. Just help carry the amps out. It's like and just do it fast and be cool about it. Yeah. It's easy. Then you can go hit on everybody.
Don't complain. Yeah, just do it. Knock it out.
Unless there's like a super group of hot people right there and they want to talk to you, everyone stop and go talk to those people right there. It is your duty as a band to give yourself a pawn to these beautiful people that have been drinking way too much and think you're cool for some reason. And then they realize you're not the next day.
It's true.
You go back to...
There you go.
Gosh, I started thinking about movies I want to see. I can't get in the movie. I'm staying away. I'm trying not to talk about movies right now. Hard.
What about...
I thought you were going to say, like, what about Pacific Rim?
The D word. Yes, Pacific Rim.
We'll talk about that later. That's another whole story. God, it's great.
Drugs.
Okay.
Give us your wisdom. I've never seen a drug, so I don't know anything about this.
Be careful not to become a drug addict in your band.
Don't do that. That's bad.
But if your band...
Don't take heroin together. Bad. Don't look bad.
Okay, so if you do any recreational drugs in your band, like you should share amongst your band, probably.
That's fair.
I would say that's like an important...
Like if you're drinking Coke, a 6-pack of Coke, you know?
I was like, God, I've never drank Coke before. I was like,
Caffeine is a crazy drug.
Like my brain was just spinning when you said
all that caffeine and sugar. You'll be all amped up.
Like, oh my God, the things I've missed. I've done some bad things, but that sounds amazing. It's such a waste too at the same time. But no, kids don't do drugs out there. It's a bad thing in general.
It's true.
But no, but if your band, if you guys are smoking and stuff, like just like share amongst the band. Don't be that weird little like that hobbit there, that little gremlin in the corner, mine, like. But at the same point, even if you're just recreational chilling out and guys are smoking, like don't let that become like the routine right when the band practice starts, because then you never practice.
You're right.
I had a band like in college, like we were kind of good for being really bad.
Yeah.
But like I remember like about an hour into band practice, I didn't smoke, like, but the guys would all start smoking, and then it was like smoking and FIFA.
Right.
That was band practice. You know, I was like,
and you're like, hey guys,
it didn't matter.
Back to that not sucking part.
I don't think we would have gotten any better anyway. We had like a sort of skill set. It's like, you know, it's like me like trying to play like college football. Like I could play like the guy that maybe carries the water. But doubtful. Do I don't think so.
Totally do that.
No, because like a lot of things, like this one guy, his cat I know, his mom owns a shop right down next to us named Lavender. It's on HGTV all the time. So check out Lavender. It's like a home recycling and resale place. It's really cool. The owners are cool, and the guitar player, her husband is a really cool guitar player too. He's good, Bruce.
Oh yeah.
And he shreds, and he
is very good.
He does wear shorts a lot when he gigs, but he shreds, which is it's a no in my book. But anyway, but her son was like a college like star football player. You know what he does for a living now? No. He's a pit crew for NASCAR.
Oh.
Like, he gets paid a ton of money, but so if you're a football player and you're not going to go play pros, because 99% of you do not play pros and you're playing college, look at NASCAR, look at the Formula One stuff. They recruit those guys right out of school because they want guys that are in shape but are mainly hyper competitive.
No.
They want you to win, and it's all about speed and getting that stuff done right and getting it done precisely and fast. And I was like, that's awesome to learn.
I did not know that. That's very cool.
Cat's making 6 figures, like, you know, he's getting married, you know, he's 6 figures. How do you do that? I don't even understand that.
I've heard tales of those things, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm like thinking, what would I do with $600? Is what I'm thinking right now. We were talking about,
I don't know.
We were talking about like 10 consecutive quarters the other day, and I was trying to do the math, and I was like, okay, never mind. I was like 5 years. I'm like, that's not right.
No.
No, my brain did that. Sometimes it just does terribly dumb things. But anyway, side note.
2.5 years.
If you play football or professional or collegiate athletics of any sort, NASCAR might be your thing. Guys, he's married a gorgeous lady too. I think they might have just gotten married. No, it's this summer, I think.
Did he meet her in NASCAR?
No. I was going to say a really disparaging joke, but no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I set you up there. Sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do it.
Sorry.
I've never been to like a real NASCAR thing. I would like to go. We used to have one right down the field from us, like 30 minutes away from this guitar shop.
I used to drink beer there as a child.
He's not kidding.
I'm totally kidding.
Okay, so that was our segue from drugs. Okay, here's one try. This is don't make a joke. Try new things, and then mainly music. Try new musical ideas, because sometimes, like, if you're in a band, like, let's say your band is actually doing well, and like you do get a record deal or whatever those things were, and that matters. But and like your band's doing great for a bit, but like somebody's like, hey, in the band, like, let's try this type of music. So I'm like, just try it. It might be great. It might not. I was thinking
it could be.
Because even if like you're like in a local band at the bar and just having fun with the guys, like try some songs outside your wheelhouse.
Yes.
Like just have fun. Like if you're a country band, play a metal song. And just see what happens. It might be like, we just came up with a whole new thing. Or like what Radiohead did.
Everyone leaves.
Yeah, or everyone leaves.
But there probably weren't that many people.
No, I was talking to Sean and I are Radiohead fans, like just what they did in the 90s when they were like, click, okay, computer, we're not a sort of pop rock band anymore. We're doing experimental rock. And all of a sudden we're legends because they did it really well. Where all those other 90s bands, kind of like when the 90s ended, like they were stuck in that sort of like time capsule.
It's true. Fun fact, our good buddies Dark Horse, who happen to be a country band, play a Radiohead song, and it's very cool.
What did they play, Paranoid Android or?
Creep.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm a creep. Yeah, Frankie does it really good.
I do tons of bluegrass versions of songs, like that pops up, but Frankie does. We love Frankie.
It's true.
If you haven't, check it. They're not really online, but like if you are coming through North Carolina ever, like there's a band called Dark Horse. It's just, they're such a good show.
They are. They're on like Instagram, Dark Horse Band, like Pinehurst.
But it's just a fun, like we live in a, and that we can speak about this like we're talking about because we have so many active great bands in this community. It's a really weird community we live in. So like if everybody's thinking about moving to Southern Pines and Pinehurst area and Aberdeen and Rockingham and Hamlet, all this, it's actually a really active
pretty healthy music scene. Yeah,
for like a small town.
Yes,
and people financially support them. Like all the venues.
It's fun.
It's for years.
Yeah,
and they're good. And we've gotten kind of like spoiled.
I think that's true.
Because I go to other towns, like big towns. I remember going to Lexington, Kentucky, and like I'd hear like the local bands. Sometimes a pretty big bar. Like this is not a good band. There's this one duo that would play at this place called Cocktails. If you're from Lexington, Kentucky, and you've been to Cocktails, the one off of Man of War. There's this cool duo. These two funny white dudes. They're really ripped or something. But they would just it reminded me of Tenacious D a little bit, but not meaning to be. But like in a real. But they were good. It was cool, man. I love local.
It's fun.
Bar things, and like I remember like because I was moved from New York and I was there visiting my like, soon-to-be wife or whatever. Like the bar was so cheap. I bought like I was like give me a round. They're like, for who? I'm like, for the bar. Because I was like, it's like $2 for like a gin and tonic or something. I was like, I'll buy everyone a drink. I get to be that guy for once in my life. It's never happened since. But I'm Cocktails, Lexington.
There you go.
Try new things.
Try new things.
We have sensitive written down on our list.
Be sensitive. Or
well, what did that mean? What were we talking about when we were like what did that mean?
Was early.
That was late. I feel like it meant something. I can't remember what it meant now. Derek, you remember what that meant?
Don't be sensitive.
I was thinking about trying to be sensitive.
I think it can go both ways. Like be sensitive to your bandmates, but don't get like overly easily offended.
Yeah, like if you're messing up, like just eat the pill but yeah, I messed up. I don't know this song. I didn't practice. Like don't ride the dude too hard if you didn't. Yeah. If she's getting on you a little bit about trying to learn the songs, like she'd be like, all right, just learn the songs.
Well, like think about like when you mess up, right? Somebody's like, hey, it was this, not that, and then it gets in your brain and you just think about it and you make it a thing when it wasn't a thing. They haven't thought about it again. So if someone says something to you, fix it, let it roll off your back.
That's like when one of our friends, Larry, just came in yesterday and we're talking. He's like a very successful drummer in the touring worlds and like play with bands from like Pavement to Posies and everything. Just like a really cool cat. But he's like one of the reasons he survived this touring circuit is because he is just people that get some of the leaders of the bands would be really mean and aggressive sometimes, and he just like let it roll right off of them.
Cool.
That's just it's cool, man. I'm getting to play drums for a cool band. The guy was just really mean for a second. Okay. But like and like maybe one of the main things too, like to end it with, is like try not to physically assault the other members in your band. Try not to. As much as it is YouTube fodder for me and my 3 sons.
It's really good YouTube videos.
I love it. Like, hopefully that's just interspiced throughout this whole video. Just people fighting in bands.
I hope that is.
It just makes me happy.
I hope we get at least one sort of like, guitar spin, headstock in the face.
And like, but sometimes that just happens. And like, there's the one where the singer just keeps going though. He's like, bam, he just keeps chugging along. Like that could have been a fight. It's happened to all of us.
My hypothesis is that when it happens and it's a fight, it's because the guy was already like he had pushed down into his boiling cauldron of rage enough.
Yes,
that made it tip over.
Now, if you're a punk band, all
none of this matters.
Bars,
fight, do drugs, do whatever, sleep with each other. It's cool.
It's actually encouraged.
Yeah.
It's
different set of rules.
100%. Yeah, that we could have a rule like how to be a successful punk band. Oh my gosh, that's a great
the opposite. Idea. All these things that we say were bad ideas, do those things,
and you have a chance at being the next Sex Pistols.
No, probably not.
No, because they had really good songs. That record is amazing. That is an amazing record. It's like I still don't understand how that record's so good. Because from knowing like all the characters of the band, like it should not be good. Like
someone's typing right now, Baxter, that record sucks. You're
it does
stupid.
Not suck. There's nothing. I want it to suck because I'm a huge Ramones fan.
It's not so good.
I'm like, the Ramones are way better than the Sex Pistols. And you listen to that record, and like, God, that's really good. I don't want the Brits to be able to do it like what we do sometimes.
I get that.
They do everything so well.
It's true. They do.
At least we have Elton John.
Dang it.
I think he's American at this point.
What if we traded Billy Joel for Elton?
100% yes. I mean, I know
this is gonna upset some people.
No, they can't upset anybody. No, they think that Dave Chappelle show, like when they were like picking people. I'm not gonna get into what, but it's like we will take Elton John and we will give up Billy for that because it's Elton. Unless you get Billy Joel from the '80s, that's pretty epic stuff too.
Yeah.
His acapella stuff. All that stuff.
It's beautiful.
But no, Elton John came on the radio the other day. Just the stuff from the Lion movie, The Lion King. I don't remember, but I was like, man, like, can you imagine that movie without that music?
No.
And I don't think the movie would be that popular. Like, it's the circle of life.
I think that's true for a lot of those Disney movies. All the spectacular where you had him and like Phil Collins doing soundtracks. Phil Collins,
Tarzan. That movie's not even good.
but the music kind of like, yeah, it's true.
I think when they were recording that, like the producer was like, whoa, Phil, this song is actually too good. Stop.
Could you tone it down just a little?
No, Phil, stop now.
Setting the bar too high.
And his agents are like, stop. We need to do this on a solo record. This song is amazing. Don't give Disney the rights to this. That's one of Phil's greatest songs. Besides every song he's ever written.
Besides all the other ones.
If you haven't listened to Phil Collins,
Studio.
I mean, all the videos too.
They're great.
You're like, I went off on like Gregory Hines and like Mikhail Baryshnikov the other day, because they had that movie White Nights, and there's some Phil Collins music in that. So, I think Gregory Hines. No, it's some. I don't know who was in the Phil Collins song. Never mind. I'm just ranting now. Love Phil Collins. He can play drums too if you didn't know that. A lot of people don't know he's the drummer from Genesis.
Popped collar and all.
Isn't that fun? Yes. I mean, he looked like a tennis star. He reminds me of
who is this guy? He's gonna play for Zeppelin. What?
God, that was a disaster, wasn't it?
That was not Phil's shining moment, but still.
And that wasn't Phil's really fault.
It really wasn't. But
Yeah, now I'm having a brain. McEnroe, that's who he reminds me a little bit. I don't know why, like John McEnroe. I feel
like Phil would be a much better disposition. He seems like really.
Well, he just had that horrible thing happen, like where he had to like sue to get his ex-wife to move out of his house or something.
No.
Because he moved in there with her new boyfriend or whatever. Like, I don't know. It's like, who knows? I don't know the story of it. I just remember reading that in TMZ or Variety or whatever the crap that I read for the research for this. Because actually, I just like reading about that stuff.
I was going to say,
like Phil Collins.
I'm pretty sure that's your leisure time, but whatever.
Leisure time, that's cute.
Your leisure.
I do have a leisure suit. I don't have a leisure suit. I wear jeans every minute of my life.
We should get leisure suits. Matching casino guitars, leisure suits.
I think we do. They're called our gi. Oh. But I don't wear those except for in Taekwondo.
No, that's true.
Because that's what it's for. We gotta stop.
Pretty sure ours isn't really called a gi. I think that's the wrong word.
As Dave Chappelle's show said, wrap it up.
All right, so there you go. Keep your bands together. Stay happy. Do your drugs together. Click like and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to hit the bell. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.